Tully. The film is about Marlowe, a mother of 3, including a newborn, who is gifted a night nanny by her brother. Hesitant to the extravagance at first, Marlowe comes to form a unique bond with the thoughtful, surprising, and sometimes challenging young nanny named Tully. All right, so I was the one that saw this one. You wanted to see it, but you didn't have time to end up going to go see it, which happens. It's fine. But I was hesitant about seeing it at first because I was a huge Jason Reitman when he was starting out. I loved Juno. Up in the Air is still one of my favorite movies of all time. I watch that all the time. And then there were movies like Labor Day. I wasn't a huge fan of Young Adult. I thought it was a good movie, but it just wasn't for me. It was one of those movies that just wasn't for me. But Labor Day was not for anybody. That was a terrible movie. And there's another one that he did. I don't remember. But like I said, I was a huge fan of his at first, but there was 3 strikes, and I can't remember what the 3rd strike was. And I was like, I'm done with Jason Reitman.
Young Adult?
Well, I guess Young Adult was one of those then. It must have been. So Young Adult, Labor Day, and there's something else, though. So, Fathers, Mothers, and Daughters. I don't remember what it's called, but it had Adam Sandler in it. That is absolute garbage. That movie was garbage, but Adam Sandler was why I wanted to see it, because it looked like a good dramatic movie, and I wanted to see what he was able to pull off. I love it when he does drama, but that movie was garbage. He was the best part of the movie, and he was still
garbage.
So that's that was his most recent movie, if I can remember what the name of it is. It's like Mothers and Daughters or something, but it's a mix of other names like that. I can't remember. I'm looking it up right now, really, really quick. And Thank You for Smoking. That was his first one that I loved.
Oh yeah, I have not seen Thank You for Smoking, but I do want to check it out.
Men, Women, and Children. So not Mothers and Daughters, Men, Women, and Children, that he did in 2014, and then Labor Day before that. So yeah, he was 3 strikes for me. And I said, I don't really want to go see Tully because I've been burned before by him. And this was really good. This was better than, to me, it's his 3rd best. I liked Up in the Air first, Juno second, and this 3rd now. And then Thank You for Smoking is somewhere in there. I haven't seen it since it came out, but I knew I liked it whenever I first saw it. So, this was one of his better ones. It really could have been a sequel to Young Adult, but like I said, I liked this better than Young Adult. And the cinematography in this one is pretty good. It's fairly basic. It's got just that simple indie feel to it. No spectacular shots or anything. It's like I said, it's pretty basic. The soundtrack is what you'd expect. A lot of indie music and stuff like that. So it's not an Oscar movie. It's definitely a great performance from Charlize Theron. I think if anybody gets nominated for Best Actress this year, she might be in the running, but it's still really early to tell for that right now. And Mackenzie Davis, she's constantly getting better in her career. That's not to say she was like ever bad. I'm just saying I'm liking her more and more every time I see her. She was really good in Blade Runner 2049. She's really good in The Martian, and like I said, she's very good in this movie too. This is her best performance that I've seen so far. And the it's got some funny moments. I hesitate calling it a comedy. It's just it's got some drama. It's got a lot of drama in it.
Would you be cool with calling it a dramedy?
Yeah, dramedy. That's good. Because the comedy, like I said, it's not like laugh out loud funny, but it's good to kind of release a little bit of the
tension in the mood.
Yeah. So and like I said, the tough parts aren't all that tough. It's just reality is all it is. The reason why I also didn't think I was going to like this because I knew the trailer was. I felt like when I first saw the trailer for Tully.
Yes, I did.
It felt like there was something more to it.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything more to it than what it was. It
was presented at face value.
Yeah, so it was misleading but I don't think anybody would have gone out to go see this movie otherwise if they didn't think about that weird trailer for Tully. It's like, gosh, what else could there possibly be? And then whenever they released that full trailer, and I was like, oh, okay, so this is like a motherhood or parenthood style type movie. Mm-hmm. But what I was worried about was that it was going to just show the bad parts, I guess, of parenthood, which it really kind of does. show the bad parts, but I was like thinking that it was going to be like a kid hating movie. I was like, oh, come on. I was like, because if it was the character from young adult, I would have definitely felt like this was going to be like a kid hating movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not saying that you're a kid hater, but I'm saying not too long ago, Jason Reitman was doing a script reading for Juno with the benefits for Planned Parenthood. So I was like, oh no, is this going to be pushing that kind of political agenda on this kind of movie? I was like, I don't like movies with political agendas. I felt he's very politically active person. Mm-hmm. So I didn't want that to be kind of what the undertone for this movie was going to be.
Abortions are A-okay kind of thing, you know. It didn't do that.
It didn't do that. So I kind of appreciated that this didn't have any sort of agenda going into it. So or at all in the movie, not just going into it at all. This movie didn't have an agenda. It's not a child-hating movie. It's just reality. I think it would be a good movie to show to health classes, probably.
Like this is what being a mother's like.
Yeah. So, the part where Mackenzie Davis, she comes in a little later into the movie than I was expecting, but she was, like I said, she was very good. She brought exactly what was needed for Charlize Theron's character, mm-hmm. for her. She was basically like her lifesaver in this movie.
Okay.
Because the transformation Charlize Theron makes in this movie is she's does this. She transforms herself for whatever the role requires, and she the makeup department deserves an award also for this movie because I know she probably did put on some weight for like the facial features, maybe 10, 20 pounds maybe, but the rest of it was thanks to the makeup department. You can definitely tell. But what the I'm trying to think of what her character was going through. It was very much post-traumatic stress from childbirth, and that was told very realistically here for this movie. If somebody has ever or has suffered from that, I think it would be really tough to watch that part of the movie. But it's definitely gives positive light to seeking help when you need it, or just making sure that you seek help. It gives that positive message, I guess, which is something that is really important for people. It says don't be afraid to ask for help. This family was very off balanced, to say the least. You see the parts in the movie where the dad looks like he's helping. He looks like he's helping, but he's not helping, and that's very, very interesting way to portray it in the movie. And you see him like helping with homework or something like that, but overall he's not doing enough. So, and it's not shaming him for it. It's shedding light to that. He obviously goes through the understanding that he was not helping in the ways he should have been helping, which is really cool. It's really interesting. I know a lot of people that can relate with this kind of story where somebody feels like they're doing some help, but they're not. But it's not to shame you for not doing it. It's just not knowing the stuff that you need to be helping with.
Mm-hmm.
So this movie brings new light to that, which is really good. It's a very good movie for young parents, older parents, as anybody that might be going through a situation where they just need that help. That help. Mm-hmm. So for that, I'm going to give the movie a positive review. I'm going to give it 9 out of 10.
All right.
So definitely
right in line with other things I've heard.
Yeah. So check out Tully. It's a very important movie, and it's kind of funny. It's lighthearted, and like I said, it can be a tough watch for some people, but for the most part, it's a very important movie.